I finally caught up on The Tourist. So The Tourist like kind of had this phenomenal release back home.
Yes.
And it's kind of been like the second wave here in the States now.
Yeah.
So it's now on Netflix by the time people watch this. It's on Netflix. The 2 seasons are on Netflix.
Yep.
I binged them both. They're great. It's a fun,
it's
really
a mad
cool show.
ride.
It's a mad show.
Yeah.
It's hard to like compare it to something. I mean, this is like high praise, but it kind of does feel like you're like, and tell me, like it's almost like going for that like Coen Brothers, Martin McDonagh vibe.
Yeah, I think they're fair comparisons. Yeah, I do. Jack and Harry Williams, who created it, have an offbeat sense of life, and that is all over everything they've either written or produced. You know, they it's all a little bit off kilter in a really fun way. Yeah, and it's been a lovely thing because Netflix have, you know, like they have done with lots of things, they've given it this whole other life that
like the new
it didn't have.
You're like
right. Or Manifest, or one of those shows that, like, you know, everyone's like, this is great. Yeah. And, you know, without speaking out of turn, it feels like it's found its right home in the States now. Because it was a big show in the UK. It was
set record numbers.
Yeah, it was the most watched show, drama. So that's and then it was felt like, it's kind of unfair that it didn't get that hype in the States. So, you know, it's had a really strong start on Netflix. So it's cool. It's breathed new life into the show. And
to tease folks a little bit about what they're going to get here, this is a character, at least at the outset of the first season, that's suffering from amnesia. We don't know his past. Is that enjoyable for you? Like this, like, less work. I don't actually have to know any backstory.
It does sound like it is less work, and I kind of on many in terms of sort of time put in, it maybe does come out as less work, but actually it was just different work. It was such a weird thing of like totally different process to what you're usually doing, is trying to, obviously, if it's not on the page, you're trying to create a backstory and insert all of this knowledge into the character. So then you can hopefully just shake it off and drop it and be in the moment when it comes to it. But this was all about only like not clouding yourself of any pre-history or any ideal
in the
of
moment.
self. It's like purely living in the moment. Every single fiber of your being is new to you. Every bit of information is totally new information. It was a really strange exercise trying to stay in that present moment all the time, which you're doing a variation of course, for every job, but this was like really heightened. Staying there. It was really heightened. I loved it. I loved it. And then by the second series, he's found out a little bit more about himself, and some pieces have been put together, and so it's not quite so much up. But the first series is literally like everything's like, huh? What? Yeah. What? Me? What? Do you know me? What? Like, he sort of levels out a little bit in the second series.
So, and again, the first season took you all the way over to Australia. You spent a lot of time there, which, like, I'm sure was quite the adventure. Yep. And then this time around, you're closer to home.
Yes. There was a whole thing of like, are we going again? Because of the response in the UK, we were going again. Yeah. You know, usually things has to be big in America to go, but it felt like it was so big in the UK, like we were going to make more of it. And there was a bit of a conversation of like going back out to Australia for 5 months and putting my kids back in school.
That's a life change, with the kids. And
huge. It was a big undertaking to do when we did it in 2021. And weren't ready to do it again in 2023, if I'm really honest. Sure. So I was like, look, let's see if we can do it closer to home. And there was a world where story-wise it made sense to be in Ireland. So my character was Irish, and he was looking for answers, so he could go home and find the answers. So it was a win for everybody.
Get to meet dear old mom. What a character. So,
yeah, she's amazing.
So one of our devoted listeners of Happy Sad Confused, Linda, wanted to know what the most challenging aspect of filming season 1 versus season 2 was. What jumps out when you think about these distinct seasons?
I think, like the actual physical landscape of where we were was a big test. In season 1, we had the heat, we had flies, like crazy flies that were being consumed in our mouths, up our noses, in our ears. It was a rough ride. Every member of crew is wearing those fly net things, tucked in, like they're not a bother. And whoever the actors are just totally out there exposed, getting, it was crazy. So I think that was a big challenge of season 1. Season 2 was, I mean, those first fucking couple of weeks, I do so much running. I'm like honestly running and rolling up
this
downhill.
This season in particular, I was struck as I'm watching. I'm like,
it was a lot
of running, a lot of fighting.
Yeah, a lot of that. Yeah,
car crashes.
Yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot of activity. A lot of
like, can I be in bed exertion next season?
No, it was honestly, it was because in the first years I did spend a lot of time in hospital bed. It was like, it was great, but no, I was really, they were making me work. I loved it. Like, it was great. And sounds sort of paradoxical, but there was a heat wave in Ireland in those early weeks. So it really was like very hot. I mean, not hot for like here in August or LA anytime, but like it was warm, and I'm running around in the hills, and it was a challenge. Like, it genuinely was a challenge, but I did love it.